Sweden. Let's talk about it. Some may be asking where Sweden is. Sweden is located in Northern Europe. An easy way to remember is that it is sandwiched in between Norway and Finland. Although Sweden may be big, it is about the size of California. However, Sweden is only home to around 10 million people, while California holds 39 million. The capital of Sweden, as some of you may know, is Stockholm. Now, let's dive a little deeper into this nation. As always, we must go back in time and focus on the history of Sweden. Sweden is of Scandinavian descent and started in 1523, which is a lot earlier than other countries, with Finland being founded in 1917. However, humans have inhabited Sweden since the ending of the last ice age, around 12,000 years ago. Between 1523 and 1814, Sweden took part in many religious and territorial wars. Since 1814, Sweden has been basically neutral in war. In World War I, Sweden let German troops cross. The same happened in World War II. Neutral. Government-wise, Sweden has a parliament and a prime minister, meaning they are similar to England. Moving away from war and politics, let's talk about animals. OMG, that is adorable. The Sweden coast is home to a lot of wildlife, including the Arctic fox, wolf, lynx, moose, elk, reindeer, bear, and owl. These animals may seem Arctic, and that is because of Sweden's climate, which definitely has a range. The southern tip experiences temperate oceanic. The middle consists of temperate continental, and the northern has subarctic conditions. Yikes. To give some perspective, it is June right now, and in Sweden, it is 62 degrees. Now, how could a trip to Sweden be perfect without some tourist attractions? One is the Vasa Museum. This museum consists of old warboats and ships from hundreds of years ago. I can smell the seawater from here. Number 2, we got Drottningholm Palace, Lovo. This palace dates back to the 17th century and is home to the Swedish royal family. A really cool place to check out in Sweden is the Ice Hotel. This is located about as northern as you can get. In Sweden, that is. Guests stay in rooms entirely made of ice with only some heavy-duty blankets. Also, to add to the craziness, you can see the northern lights from the Ice Hotel. And that only scratches the surface. The final tourist attraction we are going to talk about today is the most well-known of them all, IKEA. Spend hours lost in one of these stores to then reward your travels with some Swedish meatballs. Speaking of, food. Let's talk about Swedish food. To start, we must mention the most famous Swedish food of them all, meatballs. These meatballs are simple but are classic, lightly seasoned and served at IKEA. Now, a cooler, more interesting food is a shrimp sandwich, or rackmacka. Having such huge coast, seafood is pretty big in Sweden. This is an open-faced sandwich with rye, dill, mayo, egg, caviar, and of course, shrimp. For Swedish gardeners, crumble, or smul pie, is a great dish. This food item contains grain, fruit, butter, sugar, and flour. The sun is setting in Sweden, so let's have a dessert. Semla, or sweet roll. These are basically the Swedish cream puff, so that makes them delicious. Hey, let's go outside to see if we can catch the northern lights. Aurora Borealis is only visible through September and at the most northern tip of Sweden, but definitely is a sight to behold. Swedish art is most known as Swedish folk painting. These are a very traditional way of Scandinavian art and are known as a rose mailing. Another piece of art is simple but very recognizable, the Swedish flag. The blue on this flag represents justice, loyalty, truth, and perseverance, while the gold cross represents generosity. And how silly would I be if I didn't mention all of the Swedish musical artists? Sweden is quite a cool place, with old medieval history, cool tourist attractions, and delectable food. But the currency, krona, is only worth 1/10 of a dollar. Still, this country is definitely worth the visit.